So we've been building software for the company in Cursor for the past year or so, and there's obviously been a lot of turbulence in the models, the frontier models, and the different options in Cursor. And I'm just going to kind of give you like an honest play-by-play kind of the past few months and how that's developed for me and what I've been using for my company. Claude Code is amazing. I loved like the CLI kind of feel and everything, and even using it outside of Cursor. But for a while, that was kind of what I was using in Cursor was the Claude Code, like just using Claude Code in the terminal. And that was working super well. And, this shifting, I think that the big takeaway I would say for me with that was how good the plan mode was, and this concept that Anthropic, I think, was really the ones that pioneered this on the coding side of telling the LLM to make a plan first as its first initial task, and then after doing that, then executing on the plan, and doing so, agentically and everything. And so I think they were really the ones who kind of pioneered that framework of how important it is to make the plan first, and just like this phased approach, and breaking down bigger problems into smaller as small as possible kind of checkpoints, and just totally makes sense. And it seemed like it worked super well, and I had a really great time with Claude Code and using it in Cursor for a while. And then Grok 4 came out, and I thought Grok 4 was amazing. And I ended up, became the daily driver and the model that I use instead of Claude Code for a while. I think that one of the things that really sold me on it was just how tightly the XAI team works with the Cursor team. I saw this funny post on X where someone was saying that there was something slow with the Grok 4 model or something like that, or they need to be a little optimized a little bit more to be running inside of Cursor. And they just one of the founders just sent a screenshot of an Uber, routing from the Cursor headquarters to the XAI headquarters, and just that they were working, super closely together to align their products. And I thought that that's so was amazing, because that is, I think, what the distinguishing factor is becoming with a lot of these things. This is a quick little tangent here, just that the scaffolding on top of these models, it's how Replit built scaffolding on top of Anthropic that is the great end, user experience in vibe coding, right? Or the same thing with Lovable, and the Cursor works that way too. And that's why now I've totally fully switched to GPT-5, because I think that the scaffolding in Cursor it's really good for GPT-5. I think it's way better, honestly, than Lovable currently is and Vercel VO currently is. I just think that Cursor, it's so good in Cursor, dude. I don't understand this narrative of, I'm totally not biased about any of this. I don't, I just want to use the best thing for my business. And, this was after, I played with Opus 4.1 for a little bit. I honestly didn't use it in Claude Code. I used it a little bit inside of Cursor, and I thought it was great. But it's just amazing, the progress here. And it's so funny. I don't understand this narrative that GPT-5 is not super powerful, because I've noticed a massive step change in what I use it for Prism, for my company. It's, from a software side, from a writing perspective, just a planning and even a memory perspective, across the board. I just think it's a great upgrade. And I personally think that it's, it is my go-to easily inside of Cursor. But I'm curious, what y'all are using, and maybe I'm missing something, but I just want to use the best stuff, so that's where we're at currently. GPT-5 and Cursor, it's so good. I'm so thankful, to these teams for pushing so hard and building this stuff out. It's I say this to our clients, and I want to say this to you guys and you the listener, that you can really build anything now. Like, you can build anything. There's literally no limit to it. These things are so powerful. And so just get out there and start pulling the thread and start talking to the model and start coding and start building these things out. And I think you'll be pretty amazed and blown away with what you can build with GPT-5.